Mega Pump Arm Day at West Main. About to show you exactly what we're gonna do with this new equipment they just got. All right, guys and girls, here we are, West Main in Salem. And the goal here today is simple. All arms, triceps first, then biceps. And the great thing is they got this new cable piece in to replace the old one. So of course, had to try it out. I did a fefew more like warm up and feeder sets just to find the right weights that I had to get to today. So we didn't film any of that because just wasted camera time. We filmed all the work sets. So let me take you through this arm day and show you exactly what we did to get an enormous pump. Rotation 1 is gonna be an easy bar push down. My goal here is just move down the stack. I was doing sets of 20, then 15, and then my final one I think was around 12-ish. Immediately go over to the rope. And if you notice here, I'm using the back supported push down station here. So I'm leaning back into it and trying to let it ride up and really get a good stretch on my triceps. So normally on the rope push down, I'm thinking all lateral head, push my hands apart. But with this here today and the way I had it set up, what I wanted to do was come up, get a huge stretch, really tax that long head. And then when I press down and spread apart, then it transitioned into a focus of lateral. So it's a little bit of all my tricep here. So if I had exercise 1 is gonna be the easy bar push down. That's like meat and potatoes, heavy as I could go for a hard set of anything north of 10, and then immediately go over there, do the rope push downs, and just trying to think about squeeze, 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 and just drive in that focused work on both the long head and the contracted portion with the lateral head. Also did a back off here where I literally just dropped the weight. Nothing fancy here, guys. I just dropped the weight, focused and doubled down on the squeeze and the perfection of each rep. If you all know, like the time differential between the top set and the back off, I usually wait about a minute max between those. So I do lower the weight, but that's why you see the reps not be that far off or different. So with this back off, what I'm thinking about here, guys, is just again, furthering the pump and setting me up for my next rotation. Staying right on that rope push down, but this time I'm gonna lean forward. So hips back against that back pad now, driving that thing away from me. And if you notice how each one of these reps are trying to ride high. So I really wanna kind of lean into that stretch, meaning letting my elbows drift towards the ceiling, stretch the long head, and then go out to like 3/4 lockout. With these, it is nothing about contraction. It is all about stretch and then drive out with power. Felt incredible. You know, I love these. I just stayed with the rope, and it was just ease of use. From there, I walked over to the power racks, and we have a new Rogue chest support that I cannot wait to use for back, but today we did it for dumbbell kickback. So this is how John taught us all to do it. Pronated grip, thumbless, and then just drive up and back, take all the momentum out of it. So if you notice, I do not swing these up, and it's not a ton of weight. I think I was at 25 pounds for my final set on round 3 of those. So great little superset to get just more pump and blood into those triceps before I go into the mass builder of the day. So incline kettlebell skull crushers. When I come to this gym and do arms, this is a mainstay and staple because it just feels so damn good, and there's no other gym that I go to that has matching kettlebells. So when I come here, I'm gonna do it. And again, moderate incline, I think I was 45 degrees, and I did a fill set with the 25s and then I work with the 40s. So again, just go as many as I can there, then drop down back to the 25s and do as many as I can. And the last thing, I'm gonna just sit in that stretch for a rough 20 count. I did not time, I just counted slow on my head to 20. And with this, I'm just thinking about big stretch, come all the way up almost to contraction, and then really control that negative and the descent all the way into the hole, get down there deep, and then press up. So again, that's all about pain tolerance and seeing how many reps I can get. So that was it for triceps. Now we're gonna move on to some biceps. reversal rotation here, we're gonna keep that same setup. We're gonna have the easy bar and just put it low and do 10 to 12 reps on the curls, and then immediately come over and do the rope and do 10 to 12 curls again. So with this, again, same setup as how I started triceps, work my way down the stack to a hard 10 to 12, and then do both the easy bar curl and the hammer curl. So if you think of that, I'm thinking about getting bicep and also brachialis and forearm here. So it's a good way to start with a huge pump before I get over to what I would consider my main mass builder of the day, which is the single arm dumbbell preacher curl. So with this, I did a field set with a 25, did a field set with a 30, and then jumped to the 40. So for 40, I'm just trying to get anywhere north of 8. If you notice on the top set, I do not go anywhere close to full extension because I still want to risk tearing that bicep. I'm gonna go right arm and then left arm. Take a little bit of like a 30-second break here because I got rest technically when I was doing my other arm. So I dropped down to 25 and just again, went to the end there. Both of those, if you'll notice, like if you're doing the single arm preacher curl by yourself, it's an easy way to just self-spot. So grab the wrist, help yourself up with a rep or two. A great way to get a couple extra into the tank and past failure. So if you all have been watching this channel, you know this is my favorite bicep exercise, and there's a reason for it. It locks you in. It doesn't allow any cheating from your low back, your calves, your hips, your delts. It just makes that bicep do every bit of the work, and with it being unilateral movement, I can focus on each one specifically. And then lastly, to finish here, guys, I did a field set of crossbody hammer curls with the 25s and then immediately just jumped to 40. I did 40s for 10, 30s for 10, 20s for 10. So you notice I'll do all my right arm, then all my left arm, and then immediately just drop the weight. Nothing fancy there, just trying to get as much pump and burn and fight pain tolerance. So that felt incredible. So if you look at that, I literally only did one set of hammer curls. Some might call that 3, but to me that's 1. Totality of that session's an hour, and I'm telling you, my arms were beyond pumped. So if you look at the way I set this up from start to finish, some people I know like to start with biceps over triceps, but for me, it just feels better to go triceps into a bicep movement. So just something about the safety of that elbow. So again, experiment. If you're one of those people who like to start with biceps, just simply take this workout and just transpose it. So biceps first, then go right into the tris, and you have an excellent session. So again, I'm never encouraging guys to be married to saying, hey, like Krista do this, follow it. Yes, for the most part, I like to think that I'm right, but I also know that there's some individuality to this. So experiment, play, have fun in the gym. Like that's the biggest thing I want to teach here. So if you like this video, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, big, massive arms with Chris Evans TV.